Now, the Department of Meteorology forecasts that prevailing warm weather conditions in the island could continue until the month of May.
The Met Department also warns that the heat could intensify from today until the 15th of this month, as Sri Lanka will come directly under the sun.
Today my shadow cannot be seen in front of me or even behind me. I am right on top of my shadow. The reason is because the sun is right above me here in Galle. At 12:14 this afternoon, the sun was directly overhead Hikaduwa, Urala, Wanduraba, Walasmulla and Kohollangala in the Galle district. Several other parts of the island will also be affected, thus until the 15th of April. The maximum temperature in the past 24 hours was reported from Anuradhapura. The temperature in Anuradhapura rose as high as 34.9 degrees Celsius, while the temperature in Colombo reached 31.5 degrees Celsius.
මේ දිනවල දිවයිනේ බොහෝ ප්‍රදේශවල පවතින්නේ අධික උෂ්ණත්වයක්. මේ නිසා බොහෝ දෙනෙක්ට පීඩාගෙන දී ඇති බවක් දක්නට ලැබෙනවා. අපේ මහ ජනතාවගෙන් මේ පිළිබඳව අදහස් විමසීමක් කළා. අම්මෝ ගොඩක් රස්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉන්න බෑ මේ පොළොව රත් වෙලා වටේ රත් වෙලා බොහොම අමාරුවෙන් තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ අපි. වතුර බොනවා කොච්චර බොනවද කියලා අපිවත් හිතා ගන්න බෑ. වැඩ කරන්න බෑ අමාරු රස්නේ වැඩි. ඉතින් මොනා කරන්නේ රස්සාව කරන්නත් බෑ පැවිලා කියලා.
Warm temperatures have affected people in all parts of the island. The Department of Meteorology says that this can be attributed to the low winds and increased humidity. Meanwhile, doctors say that the increase in the atmospheric temperature could also increase the spread of contagious diseases.
The number of pests or the vectors is increased during these high temperatures. As an example, if we think about the mosquitoes, the breeding efficiency and the breeding rate is more in these of high temperatures. The fungus and the bacteria are more active in the increased temperatures. Because of the high temperatures, some of the comments are that means the preventive bacteria will destroy, while the infective bacteria and fungus are increasing effectiveness is there.
The Department of Meteorology points out that the median atmospheric temperature in Sri Lanka had a tendency of increasing significantly in the past few decades.
The wind is very mild or calm condition almost, and the atmosphere also, I mean the lower level of the atmosphere is also quite moist because we are surrounded by the ocean, and also during these days sun is also directly over the Sri Lanka, I mean our latitudes, so that we feel somewhat warm conditions and uncomfortability. Well, if you consider about the current weather conditions, it's somewhat we can expect some rainy and cloudy conditions, so that we can expect some sort of the relief of these warm conditions.
It is no secret that the interference of intermediaries leads to people in some areas not receiving the benefits of development. News First correspondent in Mahava Veeraratna Bandara filed this report on a project in the area which has been affected by such interferences.
I'm standing near a newly constructed shoe bridge constructed across the Pahalanatti Palagama paddy fields on the Yaddigama Ihalagama road. Villagers charge that cracks have begun to appear on this bridge even before it had been declared open. People from 15 villages including Bamunugama, Ihalagama, Polpitigama and Gallevehera use this road on a daily basis. I can see that there is no proper standard in the work done here. During a funeral, we have to put supports at the back to carry the coffin. Not even 2 months have passed since work was completed. If heavy vehicles travel across, it will deteriorate even more. Villagers charge that the contractors have not met accepted standards during construction of this shoe bridge. We received the necessary funds from the political authority. This has happened at the hands of the contractors. We made inquiries regarding this matter from the chairman of the Mahava Pradesh Sabha, Rohana Madagadara. The technical officer says that thin planks were used when concrete was applied here. When these thin planks are used, a tiny line appears in the concrete. He said that this is normal. Nevertheless, I do not pay out funds for any industry without the recommendation of the technical officer.
කාර්මික නිලධාරි මහතාගේ නිර්දේශයකින් තොරව ඕනෑම කර්මාන්තයක ගෙවීමක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මම කරන්නේ නැහැ.
Yesterday, news was reported on a water problem being faced by about 100 families in the Megara-Kolanawa area. Area residents say that following the report, officials of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board arrived at the location this morning and took steps to provide water from bowsers.
In your developing story tonight, South Korea has deployed 2 warships with missile defense systems a day after the North apparently moved a missile to its east coast.
Now, Newsfest has been closely monitoring the developments on the volatile peninsula over the past few days.
Aaron Rajratnam reports.
South Korean media has reported, quoting top military officers, that 2 warships would be deployed on the east and west coasts. The South Korean Navy has sent 2 Aegis destroyers equipped with advanced radar systems as North Korea moves closer to a missile launch.
The 2 destroyers dispatched by the South Korean Navy each weigh 7,600 tons and consists of Spy-1 radar. The destroyers can track hundreds of targets as far as 1,000 kilometers away. The South Korean Navy says that the vessels will be stationed on its east and west coast to track any missile launched by Pyongyang. This move comes as the North recently moved a medium-range missile to the east coast, as the US strengthened its Pacific missile defenses and radar surveillance amid intensifying threats from Pyongyang. Unconfirmed reports say that North Korea had apparently moved 2 missiles and had loaded them onto the launchers.
Reports coming in from East Asia suggest that the North has moved a short-range missile known as the Musudan to the east coast. According to intelligence analysis, the component seen in the satellite imagery can fly about 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers and is capable of hitting the US base in Guam in the Pacific Ocean.
South Korea has played down the North's missile move, saying it may be for a test rather than a hostile act. In recent weeks, the North has ramped up its rhetoric and made specific threats to target US territory. One of the targets named by Pyongyang was the Pacific island of Guam, which hosts a US military base. Yesterday, the US confirmed it would deploy a missile defense system to Guam in response to the threats. It is believed that the North holds 4 varieties of missiles. The short-range missile is known as the Nodong, which can reach targets within 1,000 kilometers. The next mid-range missile is known as the Taepodong-1, which can reach up to 2,200 kilometers. The Musudan, which was believed to have been moved by the North, can reach targets up to 4,000 kilometers away. North Korea has not yet conducted a test firing of the Musudan missile, which was first revealed in 2010 in Pyongyang. The North's long-range missile, the Taepodong-2, can reach targets as far as 6,000 kilometers away, bringing high number of casualties with it. Despite North Korea's belligerent rhetoric, it has not taken direct military action since 2010, when it shelled a South Korean island and killed 4 people. But in recent weeks, it had threatened nuclear strikes and attacks on the US and South Korea. Today, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said nuclear threats are not a game and warned that any miscalculation or misjudgment in the crisis over North Korea could have serious implications.
Nuclear threat is not the game. It's very serious. And it has, I think they have gone too far in their rhetorics. And I'm concerned that if by any misjudgment, by any miscalculations of the situation, if any unwanted crisis happens on the Korean Peninsula, this will have very serious implications. And I sincerely hope again that the DPRK authorities will change their course to spend more time and resources in improving their well-being and economic situations for their own people.
Yesterday, North Korea blocked access to its Kaesong Joint Industrial Zone with South Korea for the second day running and threatened to pull out its 53,000 workers in a reaction to the South's airing of a military contingency plan to protect South Korean workers there.
North Korea has nuclear capabilities. According to the assessments, now they have 7 kilotons worth of nuclear capability. Now, according to Chuck Hagel, the U.S. Defense Secretary, it's a serious threat. And always there were rhetorics from North Korean side. And on the other hand, when there was an attack, a threat was prior to attack. So therefore, we don't know whether the North Korea is going to use their nuclear capabilities with these missiles, or it's just missiles targeting Guam province.